So, you want to bag your Audi R8. Hello and welcome to another video. It's been a while. We actually had a break muna for all of the so you want to bag your car videos, and welcome back. Okay? We have an Audi R8 here at the shop. This actually belongs to our friend Nathan of Burnt Automotive, and he has a YouTube channel. Check them out. Okay? Big shout out as well kay Kuya Keith Brian Howe. He also has a YouTube channel. Check them out. Import Hookup. He supplied the wheels for this car. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about the car, but we already made a review about the Audi R8. So if you want to check that out, here's the link. So, ang dami ko shout out agad. So, hello and welcome to the video. If you have an Audi R8, congratulations. We have a video catalog for you already. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you don't have an Audi R8, stick around. This car is actually quite quirky. There's a lot of things we can discuss about this car. And yeah, it's worth the watch. Not only because it's a supercar, but how simple the car can be done for air suspensions. And that is the main topic of this video. We're actually going to talk about the air suspensions of the car. Albeit it's a cool car to talk about, there's another video for that. But for now, if you want to know more about the under chassis setup, kung paano namin ito ginawa, subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, and please hit the bell icon for the notification. So I'll be needing your ears for this. We're going to get educational and technical as we discuss about the under chassis of the Audi R8 and how simple it is. We're going to go through that now. So prepare and let's actually learn. See you in a bit. Alright, welcome sa front suspension ng Audi R8. We are here greeted with a double wishbone suspension. One wishbone, two wishbone on the bottom. So it's a double wishbone suspension, and we're greeted with the KW coilovers that are converted to airbags. So that's KWs for the V3. Okay. Notable things for the front of the suspension ng kotseng ito is that the shock is actually sitting on top of the top wishbone. Okay? So, papakita ko sa inyo. Ayan. The shock is literally mounted on the top of the wishbone. So, nakaupo siya sa wishbone sa taas. And that will translate to us giving us a lot of space on the top. Not like the one in the Ferrari na ginawa natin. If you watch our So You Want to Bag Your 458 na video, the A-frame or the wishbone itself is actually hugging the bag like this one, like sinasakal siyang paganyan. For the R8, we are very blessed that we have a suspension type na nakapatong yung suspension, yung shocks natin sa taas ng wishbone. That's very ideal for us when doing air suspensions, okay? So we did have some problems. We did encounter some problems with this type of shock, mainly because yung coilovers na ito ay sira na. Okay, dati, bago namin gawin, ha? It has very bad damping settings and very stiff. Mali yung preload na springs, compression and rebound is tuned wrong. Binili ng may-ari ito na hindi nakaset ng tama yung suspension, and then when we were converting it to air suspension, patay na yung shocks niya. So with the help of coilover specialists, shout out coilover specialists for helping us revive the KWs, that gave the client an option to just restore these shocks. Didn't have to buy another set worth 200,000. So, nirevive lang yung dalawang front shocks, patay yung dalawang front because of the bad tuning ng suspension dati. So, that was the only problems we encountered for the front of this car. And then, yes, double wishbone suspension. Very spacious dahil nakapatong yung shocks sa taas ng wishbone. It is a wishbone suspension, that means hindi pumipihit yung shocks pag lumiliko yung manibela. And that will give you a lot of freedom and peace of mind when doing air suspension for the Audi R8. Your hose line will not move like that, unlike the McPherson struts that we did before. Kaya this is a blessing for us as an air suspension builder. This one on the front has an external bladder, okay? Para ma-incorporate natin yung smaller form factor for the shock. It's by design, external canisters, external bladders. Okay? What else? That's going to be it lang naman sa unahan. Very simple. Just like the Ferrari 458 na ginawa natin. Mga supercar na ganito, napaka-simple ng geometry nila. 3 bolt lang din yan. 1 sa baba, and then 1 sa taas. But the problem is you have to take off the fender liner to remove the shock. So it's not as accessible like the Ferrari. So yun lang naman na pwede natin sabihin sa front. Let's go to the back. Sa likod ng kotse, we are greeted with the same double wishbone suspension. We have a good wishbone shape here. Although hindi siya nakamount totally on top of the wishbone, our airbags are actually located above the wishbone. So let's just say yung architecture ng R8, mababa yung wishbone niya compared to the Ferrari na ginawa natin recently. And that gives us a lot of space, lots of clearance for our airbags. Nothing will come close to this one, as you can see. Ang lawak niyan, wala. As in, kahit yung mags mo, hindi lalapit sa bags mo. It does have an external canister as well sa likod, but this one is mounted near or beside the shock body. Okay? Hindi naman patay yung ating shocks nito nung ginawa natin. So, coilover specialist did inspect everything for us. Wala namang kumakabig sa likod, maluwag ang likod, very spacious. So, yes. Another thing to note nga pala before we finish the rear side of this car is that meron tayong kinustomize na stub link. Okay? Ang stub link ng R8 ay hindi yan yung stock. It was an aluminum stub link. Okay? What I want to tell you is that you need to have a shorter stabilizer link for the rear when you're doing air suspension kasi pag hindi maliit yung stub link natin, tatama tayo sa airbag dito when the sway bar moves up and down. So we had to fabricate our own custom steel adjustable stub link so we can actually lower the sway bar kasi mas mababa din naman takbo niya. So yun lang naman. Custom stub link, spacious na rear side, double wishbone suspension sa likod. Very, very easy car to do. Same thing sa likod, you can't access the bolts without removing the fender liners. So that's something you need to know, okay? Stub link, fender liners, everything else is good, okay? Welcome to the front layout, okay? The front layout of the car. As you can see, the Audi R8 has no trunk. The engine is actually at the back. Just like a Ferrari and other supercars, this is indeed a certified supercar, so it has the front. Supercar check, pass. So, we have our layout here. As you may see, okay, right out of the bat, we have a custom plate. We actually made a custom burnt plaque, okay, or a faceplate rather. For them, as you may have known, they own the channel Burnt Automotive. Check them out. This will actually fit on the management system. Yung ating case, mag-fit yung faceplate na yan doon. So it's a direct bolt-on. Actually, his brother, we swapped it already, the A3 na ginawa natin before. And asan yung system? Of course, we see the tank here. The system is actually underneath that light. So we're gonna tone down our shutter speed so you can see the Fitment engineering right on the center of the frame, right there. It's underneath there. Okay, that's our management system. This is a pressure-based management system for the Audi R8. We're actually sporting an Endo CVT, ibig sabihin, compressor valve tank. Everything is inside, the compressor is inside the tank, and the valve is inside the tank. Why did we pick this? Kasi wala tayong space. I don't think that's an argument that we have to discuss. This is literally the space that we have. Sobrang liit niyan. As reference, here's my hand. Okay, you can put like 5 of my hand and that's an actual comparison is the phone, but sobrang liit lang ng space ni Nathan. So we need to maximize the space. And if we're talking space, the Endo CVT gives us all the flexibility that we can do for a front layout. Albeit, tumaas yung kanyang level in terms of height, you can still store stuff here. It's still a big space if we're just gonna put groceries, a few bags. But yeah, okay? Shout out sa aking manufacturer ng mga plates. Thank you, Kuya Ricky, for actually customizing this plate for the boys. They actually appreciate it. Any burnt fam or friends that will actually do air suspension will get this plaque. If you want one, hit us up, send us an email, or send us a design and we'll give you a quotation and a minimum order quantity, okay? So more on that on the next videos, but for now, that is the layout of the Audi R8. And that's going to be it. Let's actually drop the car and let's discuss our final thoughts as we end this video for the Audi R8. Hello and welcome to the outro of the video. We have Nathan here. So on the video, we actually discussed on how to do the suspensions and yung layout namin sa harap. So Nathan's gonna be assisting me for this one. First of all, before we dive into our final thoughts about the car, let's actually have a dynamics muna ng... Pakita muna natin yung dynamics ng kotse. If you want to start the car pala, so it doesn't get low battery, it's good. So it's gonna start the car, it's gonna get loud, okay? So, alright. So bear with us as we start the car. We don't want to drain the batteries. It's a very masela na kotse pagdating sa electrical. So, keep the engine on. Now, let's actually try to raise up the car muna to the highest level. The Audi R8, as we discussed kanina, is very simple. Okay? The struts, dalawang bolt, tapos na. Take it out, and then harap likod, double wishbone suspension, very nice. It cambers front and rear. Very, very common for supercars to have a very, very simple architecture. We actually had to refill the tank. Kita nyo naman, we're only using a small tank for this heavy car because of the space. Okay? Sakto, mapag-uusapan natin yung space ng kotse sa unahan. But yeah, now that we have actually the car refilled, we actually have a travel of 4 fingers. If that's your method of measurement. Actually, more pa daw. Ayan o, tumaas pa. So, were you able to traverse properly with this? Okay naman? Oh, okay. So that's a lot of travel. This is actually higher than my Supra. So it has more clearance to work with, and you can swivel the front and rear for more lift. Sa likod naman, around 3.5 fingers. Good enough, pero 4 fingers din. So that's a lot of lift for the Audi R8. Now, of course, everyone wants to see. Tatabi muna ako. Let's air out the car. Alright? Ang dramatic na bumaba, no? Alright. Sige. How's P1 mo? P1. This is preset 1. Preset 2. And preset 3 kung kaya pa. Alright, so air out na ulit. Okay. So as you can see, sobrang ganda ng air out ng kotse. It does not drop that fast, but uniformly. Okay? It drops uniformly. Not that fast. It's quite fast than normal cars. Pero I really love the air out of this car. Sobrang bastos. Pag nag-air out siya, like, plakda lang siya bigla. But yeah. So, nakita nyo naman, the air suspension lift capability for this car is really significant. Kita nyo naman, 4 fingers on the front, 4 fingers in the rear. What's 4 fingers? That's 4 inches or 5 inches, okay? 5 inches of lift, okay? So that's actually really good because you can traverse. I know this car is not meant to be driven on daily roads or steep places, pero with the air suspension, you can technically go anywhere you want. For now. Now, we also discussed sa under chassis na naka KWV3 siya. Okay? KWs are really great dampers. They are made in Germany and they are actually very good struts, dampers, shock absorbers. And if you mate that with air suspension, the ride is just phenomenally great. Nung static pa tong kotse, the KWs were a bit stiff because of the bad preload, wrong damping setting, and pasira na siya. That is the under chassis, that is the dynamics, that is the vehicle dynamics of the car. Everything that we can discuss about the R8, nandito na. Now, let's talk about the wheels and the fitment of the car and understand, okay? Those wheels are just fabulous, ang ganda. They are by Brixton wheels, supplied by import hookup by Kuya Keith, okay? 19 by 9 sa unahan, 19 by 11 sa likod. So, it's on Michelin Pilot Sport tires, and as you can see, baliktad to. Bakit baliktad? What's baliktad? Sa unahan, we actually have a very, very good fitment. Fender tulip siya. Sa likod naman, baliktad. Kasi usually, sa likod tayo, laging tuck or lapat. But there's still a gap on the back side. And that's actually going to hint something na pwede ka pala mag-staggered wheel setup dito. Like 19 sa unahan, 20 sa likod, like a Porsche. It's not actually a surprise kasi, you know, it's part of the Audi, the Volkswagen group. Okay? So, something na pwede mong gawin sa RH nyo is you can do a staggered 19 sa unahan, 20 sa likod. So, you can actually fill up those wheel gaps. Sa mga kotse katulad ng Supra natin, we have a wheel gap on the front, not on the back side. Nagtatak yung mga likod ng mga ganong kotse. Surprisingly for this car, yung likod ang hindi nagtak. even though sagad na lahat ng mga arms natin. So yun lang naman yung masasabi ko sa fitment ng kotse, but nonetheless, it's low to the ground. It's actually the lowest car that we ever bagged. I actually mentioned that on our vlog. This is actually lower than my Supra. My Supra is actually 2 fingers on the floor. This is just not even 2 fingers, like a finger na lang. And this is by far the lowest car we ever bagged in this series. And probably for a while, kasi this platform is really good for stands. As you can see, madami naka-stands na R8 sa ibang bansa. And sa Pilipinas, this is the only one. Yeah, this is the only one that matches the stands platform. But nonetheless, it's getting too long. The video is getting too long. That is all we have time for to discuss about the Audi R8. Once again, if you want to know more about the Audi R8, we made a review about that with Nathan. Check out his channel if you want to see more of this car. And of course, if you want wheels, check out Import Hookup. If you want coilover restorations, check out coilover specialists. These are the people that worked with us to build this car, to make it look like this. We are actually just a part of the build, so we just want to plug those people who helped the owner get this car looking like this. Okay? So that's going to be it for now. What do you think? Audi R8 for air suspension? I think it's always like it's the best bang for your buck. Get the air suspension, go wherever you want, slam the car to the floor, look fabulous as hell, pogi mo, ang dami pang pwedeng puntahan, maganda pa ride mo. It's just best bang for your buck, sabi ko nga, di ba? For now, that's going to be it. So you want to bag your Audi R8. That is how. If you want to know more, okay? We have a plethora. Okay, madami kami nagawa na ng ganitong videos. We may have done your car. Check it out. Meron tayong playlist for the So You Want to Bag series. But for now, this has been Cal from Fitment Engineering and you're watching Fitment TV. So you want to bag your car. Okay? I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nathan, for the opportunity. And thank you sa mga sumuporta and sa mga tumulong bumuo ng kotse. And I'll see you on the next episode.